So what happens is that each night, when that time frame comes, and those bass start spawning, at night is when those shad spawn. They don't spawn during the daytime. I don't know exactly why. I just know they don't. And they don't, as soon as it gets dark, they don't just rush to the bank and start spawning. They don't. That's just not how it works. It takes them a number of hours after dark before they really start to come up and spawn. And we'll get into the places where they spawn. They come up and spawn, and then that lasts until the sun hits the water in the next morning. So that's kind of how the time frame when that happens. So, at night you're going to have some really good night fishing that can go on during that time of year, because those bass are up there. They're hungry. They're fierce. They're looking for all the bait fish that are going to be coming up there and flocking to the banks. And when those shad are up there spawning, it's almost like they forget about the bass. So I think the bass have just like the easiest meal of the whole year, because the bait fish are pushed up against the bank. They're pushed up against the docks, the places that they do spawn. And I don't think that they have on their minds. They don't have on their minds the predators and running away from them. When the shad come up to spawn, they're going to seek areas that are calmer. What I mean by that is that, areas that are subject to boat waves or waves in general from the wind, the ones that are on the main lake kind of areas, they will have shad spawn on them, because the shad are basically just looking to spawn on anything that's hard. So as I go through here, where do they spawn? They spawn, as I say, on the bank. Now the bank is a little bit different in different places. The number one place that you can look for and recognize to see if shad are spawning are riprap banks, and I have one of those right here in the middle there. Any of those man-made riprap banks, that is a really good place to look to see if they're spawning. The big marinas like this right here, they'll spawn on individual boat docks, but not as much, because the individual smaller boat docks, they're more subject to boat waves. They're more subject to having wind affect them. Those big marinas like this, if you look at them, they usually have a big break wall around them, so the water's going to be calmer. And then within there, they're going to have all these other areas, in those big marinas. They have all these other things that are helping block the wind, all that kind of stuff to keep that water calm. That's what those shad really want. They want calm water, and they want something hard to be able to spawn against, so that they can lay their eggs against that. But like I said, boat docks, especially floating boat docks, are a big deal with those. And I just explained the marina situation. Those riprap banks, as you can see now, a lot of those riprap banks are perfect as long as they're a little more secluded, not quite on the main strip, not quite on the main drag. Those ones tend to be a little bit better. But man, when those shad get to spawning, they'll be anywhere where it's a hard bank. Seawalls are really good, and bridges can be okay. I've caught some good fish off shad spawn around bridges, especially the smaller ones towards the backs of the creeks. That one's good. And then bluff walls can be, shad spawn will definitely happen on bluff walls, especially the ones off of the main channel. And then the one that you really, really don't want to overlook is bank grass, especially willow grass. If you're down there on the Coosa River, you're down there anywhere in the south, and you have that willow grass on your lakes, man, it is like a magnet. Bass absolutely love to get into that willow grass and get all over top of those shad that are spawning in it. And that's the willow grass right there in the far right picture right there. But
And the information Bass University provides isn't your basic run-of-the-mill fishing video. This is specific information from A to Z to help you learn, get to the water, and become a better angler quickly.